Okay, time for d4. Queen's Gambit, the Marshall defense. Now it's just the ordinary Queen's Gambit declined. A classical defense. Okay, this is now a delayed Tarrasch. I guess he's an expert with all the transpositions. It's a danger of pre-moving. Don't pre-move, kids. Okay, so I'm just a piece up. He can resign anytime now. But I'm still going to castle. There's a lot of force on the board here. Let's say 2 rooks and 3 pieces is 19 points. I think the rule is 14. When you're down to 14 points, then it's worthwhile bringing the kings in. That's when you're in the end game officially. Okay, I want to develop my bishop. I was thinking this would be a good development. Yeah, it looks like he's still moving without thinking in spite of his earlier lesson. Okay, so knight here, hitting the pawn. The pawn comes forward, the knight can go to b5 here. This is a nice square for the knight if the pawn comes forward. And then drop my rooks back. So I can maybe I'll just come here. No, I don't want to ever get in a situation where this is pinned. I would like to double them, but yeah, he can kick the knight like that. And if I had a rook here, well, actually the knight defends it, doesn't it? Okay. Pose rooks. Suppose I should walk my king back to the center. Now we are getting to that stage. Yeah, here we are. Time to bring the kings in. He's continuing to play very fast. Okay, so let's maneuver my knight around. This king can't come forward anymore. Let's see. I think I need to defend that. So even if his king gets to this square, he can't go here, here, or here, or here, or here. So he has nowhere to go but back. Yeah, so he hasn't really achieved anything by going there. But now he's allowed my king, so let's step up. Now let's think about this. Do I want to? I think, yeah, let's just blockade that and win another pawn. That's probably the simplest way to win this. And he resigned. Okay. Yeah, resigning earlier could have been in order to. Not much development, then forced trade. Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't trade when you're down in material. You should keep the pieces on. Okay, how about a French defense? Anyway, welcome to the stream, Timo. Good to see you again. It's been a while. I'm hoping to start streaming more soon. I keep saying that. Maybe next month I'll be able to do some more. And exchange French. It's a bit of a slow move, this c3. And yeah, he put his bishop here instead of using it to pin my knight. Bit unusual too. Okay, so I'm blocking any idea of a pin here. And then I'm going to pin his knight, which is not actually not a pin, huh? Going to threaten to take his knight. I see, he's going to defend with his knight. So knight here and pawn to c5 is my usual plan. Rook to c8. I think that works here. But yeah, I was just wondering if there's another idea. You know, if you get a rook here and a knight here, you can fork those two pieces, but you need to get rid of this pawn first. So let's do this. And the knight will be in the wrong spot. So that's a tactic that I can never make work, really. But I can play this. He wants to force this. So if I go back here, and he kicks me again, and I go back here, then he can win a pawn. Go back here, and he kicks me again, I could take. He takes, I take. But the knight is defended. Yeah, let's just take the knight then. I was hoping to do better than that, but what I can do is put a knight on e4 now. Now let's think. I think I need to take here first. If I just defend the knight, he takes, I take, he takes, I take. Looks like I eventually run into trouble. How about if I push this pawn? He takes, I take, he takes. Yeah, it doesn't work either. So I have to take first if I'm going to think about pushing that pawn, which looks kind of attractive now. This bishop would be locked in behind the pawns, and I could force this light squared bishop to move somewhere. Oh, is he wondering about taking with the queen? That's a reasonable idea too. Yeah. So he's going to think about a sacrifice here. So let's bring the knight over immediately to help defend against such ideas. How did I know he was going to do that? Okay, so if he takes here, then the knight would be okay, huh? But yeah, I need that knight there to defend against the mate here. I could defend against it this way. This would work too. Now let's attack the queen first. Hard to say what's best in these cases. But this is pretty annoying having this mating threat hanging over you. You need to be active. Yeah, and he won that pawn. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to bring a rook over. He's going to bring a rook over. Let's see. How do I block this one? Guess I have to go here. Keeps his rook out of this square. Gives me a pawn to push to defend the bishop here. If he, for example, takes, I take back, and then he puts the rook here. I can push this pawn up. And the queen can take the pawn, but the point is that my queen is defending the bishop, and I have a rook to bring over. Oh, he just goes there. Okay. So let's push this pawn right away. Then let's bring the rook here. Let's defend. So 1, 2, 3. He has enough compensation. He has 4 pawns for the piece. But yeah, so he can start doing stuff like that. I go here. He pushes. I take the queen. He takes back. Yeah, I have time to unwind here. Time to unpin before he pushes this pawn all the way forward. Okay, so we are unpinned now. And actually, there's a mate here, right? Okay, that's one way to finish it. Nice to get one there. And I'm back to 1750, it looks like. Asino Bigio. So we did Sicilian, French. Here, we'll do e4, e5. Now he plays the bishop's opening. Not the most usual opening, but interesting. No, he didn't do anything crazy. Sometimes they play this as a gambit. Just bring the 2 knights out. Ah, so he's still thinking about playing f4. Let's put the bishop out here. Maybe it will discourage his idea. Because this pawn is pinned now. Okay, let's castle. Okay, I'm just going to drop back so I can take with the pawn here. And can I play d5? That's the question. He takes, I take, he takes, I take. I think I can play it. And then this is not It's still defended and it's not under attack. Yeah, that's the disadvantage of putting a knight here. It's not attacking anything. It's defending. So it has some merit, but it's not attacking. And I'm threatening to win a pawn here or more. Bishop takes. Yeah. I still like the idea of opening up this file for the rook. I could have taken with the knight, of course, hitting his bishop. That was an option. Oh, he trades the bishop off anyway. That was a good piece. I would have tried to keep it. Gains a tempo on the queen. You know, putting the queen back here is interesting, but it blocks the bishop. So I think the queen just goes, well, it could go here, but then he's got knight there. I think the queen just goes all the way back. Okay, so we will try and prevent the knight from coming out there and then develop our bishop. I think knight d4 is the next move. Yeah, he wants to open up the open up that F file. That's fine. The rook is not really stable there. And the bishop defends this square, and plus the knight is under attack. So I think just rook back to f3 is the only move there, and then I can play the knight here. Or here. Oh, the queen can defend. Okay, that's true. That is true, but now what is this? Ah, the answer to that is to take it. Okay, let's bring another rook in. He has a knight as well. Yeah, that's true. That is true. So I have to be careful I don't put the queen somewhere where I get into some massive fork here. I want to leave this square open for the knight. Let's see, could I counterattack? I attack his queen, he attacks mine. He takes my queen, I take his queen with check. He takes, but I don't get to take the knight back. So, answer is move the queen, I guess. Yep, that was predictable. But wherever the knight goes, well, if it goes with check, it's not attacking anything. It could check me here or here, but I can take it wherever it goes. So, yeah, he just piles up there. So, again, my idea is to bring the knight here. Not sure which square is better. Maybe here. The idea of coming here to... Okay, so here attacks the rook, but it's defended. Knight here, he just puts the pawn forward, but then I have the check. Okay, that's the way to do it. It's not a check. Maybe I just take his knight. He brings the pawn forward. I take his knight. So he moves the knight out of the way first. Okay, so I have knight here. He can take it. I could move this knight with tempo somewhere. Want to put my bishop here. This is kind of slow, but could not find anything better. Not to say there isn't something better, I just didn't see it. So when he kicks my knight, I could go either to this square or to this square, if he plays pawn up. But yeah, I think getting the bishop to this square looks like a good thing to do. It restricts this knight as well as putting pressure on this one. So Mr. Biggio, he definitely believed in going directly for the attack. Well, it's a good way to play. You learn a lot just trying to figure out how to do an attack. But sometimes you need to prepare the attacks a little bit better, I think. Of course, yeah, it depends on if you want an attack that succeeds all the time or if you want to rely on your opponent's mistakes, which will happen. Your opponent will make mistakes. So you get a good attack going. It's not quite correct, but it's confusing enough that, that you win a lot of games. But at each point, at each level you're at, there are some tricks that work, and then you reach the next level and those tricks no longer work because the people at the next level up already know all that. So if your game relies too much on tricks, then it gets hard to improve. Okay, yeah, so he's doing a kind of slow maneuver there too. I'll finish my idea with the bishop. So he definitely wanted to get back to a square where he could attack, but what is the point? How about if I put the pawn here and the knight takes? I can just take it. Just thinking I could trade off the queen, but actually I can't do that. Cannot do that. If I go here, he puts his knight back here. Just go back. Is this a repetition? When the knight moves, there's this diagonal that opens up. But yeah, I don't see how to exploit it. Took too long, huh? Anyway, I want to play this move. Kick that knight. Okay, this is good. Oh, I can't go there, huh? How about here then? This is bad because he can pin it. He didn't do it, but I was low on time. Okay, so let's just get ready to double here. That was bad. He can just take here now. Yeah, he can still take there, but he defended his queen. I guess that was the main point. And then I can take here. He can check and take here. But I end up with an extra piece. So not the best outcome for white there. But he had me. I was definitely losing there. So that's the other way making a complicated attack can work is you can confuse your opponent and make him lose on time. Check and take pawn. Yeah, it's gonna try and check me. I'm just gonna walk up and mate him. That's my plan. He's got a rook, so shouldn't really work. But you never know. Never know what you can get away with. Okay, so let's go here. Oh, that was a mistake. I wanted his rook to move away from this this file here because I want my king to come forward so I can mate him. There we go. This wins. Well, that was a funny game. I don't know what to say about it. Let's get another one. Okay, time for c4. Puff, puffatas. Okay, got kind of a reverse Sicilian here with the English opening. I'm gonna go for a Botvinnik setup then. He hasn't prevented me from doing that. Yeah, now this is too late to cause me to play e3. I already got e4 in, and I can castle here, so there's no real threat. Well, that's unusual. It's not good, but consistent anyway. So I have great development, and I have 2 pieces for the rook. So what's not to like? Square for the knight now. So I'm going to develop my bishop and lift up my queen and bring the rook over. Could put the... no, that's not right. Let's put the bishop here. Okay, this will hit the bishop. It's the bishop and the pawn. Let's take the bishop. Okay, so now I just need to take here, right? Skewer the queen and king. So knight here. Let's see if he falls for it. Pushes forward with the fork. Yes, he did. Yeah, that's a danger of moving too quickly there. Okay. Let's take that pawn. So I've got a queen, a rook, and a knight, and he's got two rooks and a knight. Yeah, so I have a queen for a rook. That's pretty good. So we'll eliminate the rook pair, which is sometimes dangerous. And there we go. Now we will trade off that knight. Mr. Rook fork. Okay, didn't like that idea. Let's go here. Knight here, check. Knight here, check. I could just take it. And then I would have a knight. And he wouldn't, and the pawns are even. This is an easy win. Yeah, here, let's look at that missed rook fork. Where did I miss a rook fork? Or maybe that comment was earlier and I didn't notice it. Because there's no rook fork here. Yeah, maybe that was on. Maybe I didn't notice your comment right away, and that was on some earlier game. Okay. Anyway, let's get another game. So what are we doing here? Hey, we're above 1750. That's cool. Made it to 1760. Earlier I had? Yeah. Okay, it's earlier in the same game. Okay, Tritanov. Oh, your comments are coming in too slow. Okay, let's try an Alechin's defense. Something unusual. After the queen take. Okay, maybe we can look at it again. I really didn't see it. That's funny. Okay, this is a typical Alechin's defense line. You can play the c pawn to keep kicking the knight. Yeah, the chase variation. You can play the f pawn to get the 4 pawns attack. When I moved the knight down, I could have moved the knight up instead of down. Yeah, so he's doing, I play this way myself as white. It's a simple way to play, gives you pretty good center influence. And looks good. So the question always is, can I play e4? I think he just takes it. Plus my queen is in trouble. Let's develop. I did win anyway, yes. But was it correct that I won? That's the question. Okay, now my queen is defended, so I can play e4. He takes, I take, and if he trades queens, I get a rook over here, so it's not so bad. What he could do is just push this pawn forward. Might cause me some trouble. Yeah, so I want to play e4. Is that crazy? e5, rather. Pawn to e5, pawn takes. Maybe I should take the knight first and then play e5. Maybe his bishop ends up winning this pawn over here. Yeah, I'm going to play this anyway. I think it looks interesting, but I'm not quite sure this is the right way to play. I do have a loose pawn over here. Maybe I get that in compensation. But actually, when the bishop takes here, it's hitting my rook. So if I move the rook to defend, he can move his bishop. Move my rook out of the way, attacking his bishop. He can move it back to defend the pawn. So I think, yeah, if he plays this right, he can win a pawn here. But we'll see. Maybe I should. That means I should take with a pawn here. So that his queen can't. Yeah, I had been planning to take back with the knight, but if I take back with the pawn, he takes, I take, and he could take this knight. He could trade queens. In all those lines, this guy is still hanging and he doesn't win a pawn, so I guess it's okay. If I were to take back with the knight, then he could take here. Yeah. So I won't do that. I will take with the pawn. It gives me these nice 4 pawns here. And he probably won't take my knight. He probably wants this bishop. So he has to decide if he's going to defend this pawn or not. Oh, he does want that. Okay. I think this is good for me. Just bishop out and castle, yeah. And he defended the pawn. He attacked this one. Okay. I will defend a pawn too. Because I still, I could have defended this way, but I really want to get the bishop to that square. I like it there. He's going to kick it away, huh? Well, let's just get castled then. Maybe I could have played a5. Maybe this was the right move. Because then I could have the bishop here. Well, I'll keep that in mind as an idea. Yeah, so if I play a5 now, he takes the knight. I take back with the queen, and then this he takes this pawn. Plus, this square is no longer... Okay, so I'm just going to defend here. Yeah, he really wants to push that forward, huh? Let's put a rook here so that if he pushes his pawn forward, the knight can move. And now from this position, yeah, I have, yeah, let's take with the rook. Keep the pawns here. I have queen here. Queen to a5, hitting this pawn and hitting this pawn. So I go here. Oh, no, he just made a mistake. I should take advantage of it, right? Oh, it's pinned. That's what it was. Okay. He didn't make as big a mistake as I thought. Let's unpin, threaten to take his rook. Okay, so Tintinov, he was thinking. It's always dangerous when you have one of these opponents that's thinking. So yeah, he's got 3 defenders on this pawn. He's just really overloaded his defense. I could put my queen here and threaten to mate him, except it's not a mate because his queen can defend. You thought the same thing as me? Yeah, it looked so attractive. I totally overlooked this this pin, but it's my own fault. I played that f6 move, which is always a weakening one, but I just wanted this to be securely defended. Okay, he wants to take there. Do I care? I'm not sure. Oh, he wants to trade. So I take, he takes, I take. Don't I just win a pawn? And I can get a check here and get rid of the rooks if I want to. Yeah, you can pin that, but I can unpin it. I do have to be careful. But I'll be taking back with check if he takes my rook, so I'll have my time to bring my queen back to defend. Yeah, his rook is pinned, so he really can't come down here and mate me, even if he manages to distract my queen. Yeah, so let's I don't know, what's the best pawn structure here? Maybe do something like this. So I just have one extra pawn, keep them all defended, and push them slowly forward. Good, I do have winning chances, but he has drawing chances, so I have to make sure my king position is is safe enough, secure enough. And yeah, he ran out of time. It was a tough position. Here, let's take a brief look at the analysis board here, see what it thinks. This is a minus 0.4. Yeah, so really tough to win from a position like this, but it can be hard for white to find the right moves. Let's go back and look at the previous game. Where is that? It was this one, right? So it was before the queen trade, or at the time of the queen trade. After queen take. here. I mean, there's this fork here, but this pawn is guarding it. I think that was it, unless it was a different game. Anyway, that was a better move because it won, I guess. Okay, let's get another game. Back to e4. Oh, 1767. 17 and 2/3. Looks like we got a Caro-Kann here. Got to play a different line than my usual. Just get away from the main lines. It's not especially good, but it's different. Okay. I'm going to use my knight to defend here and unpen things. Okay, there, we're all unpinned. I'd like to get my knight to this d4 square. Let's see, he wants to put his knight here. Okay, so yeah, let's bring... Oh, I can't do that because he'll take, huh? Let's kick the bishop back then. Now I can do this. So that opened up this line for my bishop, so he can't put his knight on... well, he can put his knight on f4. But I will trade it. I don't want the knight to stay there. And then I can put my knight here. If he gives me another move, I'll put a rook behind it so I can keep taking with pieces. Right now I could take and force me to have a pawn here, which might be a bit awkward. But I do have the move. So he castles. Yeah, let's defend this. Okay, we take the knight then. And we take the pawn, right? Is there some trick? Maybe bishop here. Could be interesting. Yeah, I want to find a way to force him to take my bishop. Yeah, it's pretty annoying discovered check there. Okay, so he's putting some time into this one. That can't be right. The Queen and Pawns game. Yeah, he resigned. Let's see, the Queen and Pawns game. That was this one. Yeah, I won by timeout. This was the final position. I had just one extra pawn, but he just ran out of time. It was a tough position to play.